writers, welcome back. So now that you did some prior knowledge on answering the question, what is an narrative and what you think a personal narrative is, let's learn what it is. A narrative is a story, but a personal narrative is a true story about your life. It is something that happened to you specifically. So, for example, writing a story about your first day of school. Let's watch a very short clip to learn more about what a personal narrative is.
Today we're going to be learning about personal narratives. Now, what is a personal narrative? A personal narrative is a true story about your life. So, if you wrote a story about anything that has happened in your life, that would be a personal narrative. Let's take, for example, Sam. If Sam wanted to write about when he met his friend Jake, that would be a personal narrative. Or let's say maybe he wanted to write about a time that he moved and changed schools. That would also be a personal narrative. Or another example could be maybe Sam wants to write about a time he went camping. This also would be a personal narrative. So all three of these are great examples of personal narratives.
So now that we learned a little bit more about personal narratives, we are going to begin.
Today we're going to be learning about...
Sorry, friends. We are going to read a mentor text to identify the key features of a personal narrative. Writers. This is a story about my life. It is a true story about me. So this is my personal narrative. The title is My Favorite Christmas. I'm so excited to share it with y'all. So please follow along as I read my personal narrative. Y'all hurry up, I yelled as I was running downstairs to see what Santa brought us. What felt like hours, finally my family came down the stairs so we could open our presents. First, we all got to see what we got from Santa. Chang and I got scooters while Austin and Ashley got phones. Next, we got to open our presents from my mom and dad. This is the best Christmas ever, my siblings and I cheered. My parents surprised us with a trip to Disney. My dad told us that we should go get packed because we were going to leave tomorrow. My siblings and I ran as fast as we could to our rooms to start packing. Finally, we got all packed, and the next morning we headed to Disney. I will always remember the Christmas I got to go to Disney. So this is a true personal narrative about my life. So now let's identify the key features of a personal narrative. So on this slide, you will see on the left-hand side the key features of a personal narrative. And then I have identified where in my text, in my personal narrative, that you can locate these key features. So some of the most important key features is my personal narrative focuses on a small moment that happened in your past. So personal narratives can't be something that happened throughout your whole life. It is a small moment that happened. So for example, in my writing, this is a Christmas in my past. This was one Christmas that has happened when I got to go to Disney. So it focuses in and narrows in on a very small moment. To continue, personal narratives have a character and setting. So in my writing, you notice I write about Channing, who's my sister, myself, because it's my personal narrative, all about me, Austin and Ashley, who also are my brother and sister, and my mom and dad. I have shared all of the characters in my story. Also, I have a setting. The setting is Christmas. It's the Christmas that I got to go to Disney. I have shared that we were in my house because I was running downstairs. So more specifically, I was going to our living room. And I said that my family goes downstairs. So this is all sharing about the setting, the place that it took place. Another key feature of a personal narrative is beginning, middle, and end. So I went in chronological order of what happened in my story. So I used things like first, next, finally, to make sure I was going in the exact order of what took place that day. Also, I used dialogue or quotes. For example, let me highlight my quotes that I used in this text. For example, I used, "Y'all hurry up," or "This is the best Christmas ever." These are dialogue that I actually personally said that day. Finally, another key feature is uses words like I, me, my, we, us, and it also tells you how you feel. So if you notice, I use my family, or I said my dad told us we were going to leave tomorrow. These are all key features that are a part of being a personal narrative. Also, you can tell how I feel. I said my siblings and I cheered. That means we were excited that we get to go on this amazing trip to Disney. So these are all key features. So let me read them one more time. Focuses on a small moment that happened in the past. There are characters and setting. There's a beginning, middle, end. There uses dialogue or quotes. Uses words like I, me, my, we, us. And it also tells us how you feel. But one thing I want to focus on is this is a true story about your life. This is a true story about your life. That is what a personal narrative is. All right, friends, I am so thankful that you took this journey with me to learn what a personal narrative and the key features of it. I can't wait to see how you do in your Google form. Bye, guys.